Hi, my name is Danilo Sinka and this is my course project presentation on object-oriented programming. First, let's discuss how the application works. This application is all about credit. This can record purchases, credit inquiry, account creation, and closing of account. If you can see in this slide, this is the main menu of the application. In the application, you can perform account creation, create inquiry, purchase payment, closing of account, and termination of program. Each of them having a corresponding number in order to use them. First is the account creation. It will ask your name, your annual income. As you can see, I typed Danilo as name and annual income of 350,000, and after validating the input it will say account successfully created, showing all my account details including account number and credit limit. Next is for validation. As you can see in the slide, when a user enter another amount other than 1 to 6, it would prompt the user that you need to choose only between 1 to 6, and if the account creation the user enter a number, it will validate it because it should it would because the name should not have a number. The same with the annual income, it should not have letters in it, and in the annual income it should not be lower than 200,000 to apply for credit. Next is the credit inquiry. In this part, the system will ask the account number and to validate the account is in the system. If the account is not in the system will prompt account not found, and if the account is validated, it will prompt the user of its credit inquiry. Next one is the purchase. The system will ask the user to enter the account number to validate, and if the account is valid, the system will ask the user how much is the purchase, and it should not be below 1 and not more than the allowable purchase amount. If the user enters 0 or more than the allowable purchase amount, a prompt will appear that it reminds the user to enter not less than 1 or not exceed its allowable purchase amount. If the amount of the user is valid, it will automatically show the updated credit balance and account details. The next is the payment. This is also the same as purchase, that it will ask the user to enter its account number to validate when then if the valid in the system will ask the user to enter the amount not below the minimum, which is 1, and not exceeding the credit balance. The system will prompt the user about the exceeding amount. If the entered amount is valid, the system will automatically deduct it to the credit balance of the user. Closing of account. The system will ask if the user to enter the account number to validate it. If the user account is valid, the system will prompt confirmation for deletion of account. If the user is determined to close the account, the system will check the credit balance of the account. If the account have a credit balance, it will ask the user to settle the remaining balance in order to close the account. If the user paid the remaining balance on the account, it will close, and if the user did not pay the remaining balance, the closing of the account will be cancelled. Then the last operation is exit, where the program will end and prompt goodbye. Now let's discuss the code. Let's start with the client Synco class. I use scanner for the user input, then declared the instance for the object for the user. I also declared the necessary variable name for the program to be used later on. I use do while loop for the program so that it will keep going as long as the user hasn't terminated the program. Inside the do while is the try catch method for input validation, then printing the main menu of the program followed by the user input. For its validation, I use the input mismatch exception if ever the user enters to input letters, and if else to validate if the number were between 1 to 6. After validating the input of the user, the next part would be the switch in, which I use to differentiate the different scenario that would occur depending on the choices of the user. In case 1, it would be the account creation, in which the system will validate the user input using try catch. First is the account name, where the user code use will while loop and check whether if the user entered the correct format. In case of empty, the system will return name name cannot be empty as its validation, while if it contains numbers, it will return name cannot contain numbers. Next is for the annual income. If the user's annual income is below 200,000, a validation will occur that says it is not eligible for credit. If the amount that is entered is valid, the system will also compute its credit limit. Try catch is used in this to validate in case the user typed letters. Next, for the account number, in which it is a random 4 number, I use math.random on this to get random numbers, then multiply it to 1000 to convert it to integer. Then the account saved to pass it to the constructor, then increment the num user. Lastly, it will print the details of the user, where all of its account information, including the account number and credit limit, will be shown. Then the catch statement to catch all the unexpected input by the user, and break statement for the case. Okay, on this page, we now move to the case 2, in which what will happen if the user check its credit balance. First is to try to catch unexpected input. Then next is to ask the user to print the account number for the account validation. Validate account for account validation, then use the credit synco validate account number, which parameter credit, which is the instance that is initiated, num user, and validate account that is inputted after validation of account. If the return value is null, it will print the account not found, and if the account is found, it will go to the method found account dot credit query in the credit synco class. We will discuss later the methods on the credit synco class file. Okay, next is case number 3, which is purchase option. Following the same code as the last, the system asks again the account number for validation, and validate the account number. We call it on again the method credit synco to credit synco dot validate account number with the same parameter. Then if the account is valid, the system will ask the user to input the amount purchase, in which it should not be below 1 and not higher than the credit balance. I use the remaining balance to get the allowable purchase amount, which is credit limit minus credit balance. If the user below 1 or higher than the allowable purchase amount on the system, will print the purchase amount should not be below or should not exceed the amount of the allowable purchase amount. If the entered amount is valid, it will go to the method purchase in credit single class file with parameter purchase amount. Try catch is also used into the catch input mismatch. Next is case 4, which is payment. Same with the other that is needed with account number validation. I use payment as variable name for the account number validation. If the account is valid, the system will print an enter amount that is minimum 1 and not greater than the credit balance. Then ask for the user input. If the user input is valid, it will go to the payment method in credit single class, while the parameter payment amount with this were also validated using catch method for the user input validation. Next is case 5, where it is for closing of account. In this case, it will ask for the account number for the validation of the account. If the account is validated, another confirmation verifying if the user would like to close the account will appear. If the user confirmed, that the system will check if the account have credit balance or unsettled payments. If the account have unsettled payment, the user will prompt the user saying it will need to settle the account first, then asking the user if the user wants to pay in full in order to close the account. If the user entered Y for the account, credit balance will be paid in full and the account will be closed. But if the user chose N, closing of the account will be cancelled. If the account, however, doesn't have credit balance that needs to be paid, it will automatically close after the first confirmation. Try catch is also used to evaluate user input in every input mismatch occurs. Last is case 6, wherein this is for the program to be terminated, setting the boolean OK to false in order for the program to end. Okay, so we move on to the credit single class, first with the declared variable with private as their access modifier integer, account number for account number, account no for account number, double annual income for annual income, string name for the name, double credit balance, double credit limit, allowable purchase amount, and boolean is closed for closing account. Here is the constructor where it accepts a parameter such as string name, double annual income, int account number, and int credit limit, then assigning 0 for the balance as the credit balance is after account creation, and assigning false to is close. Then the getter for the account number, credit balance, and credit limit, and setter for account number and credit limit. This setter and getter is used to get the data to use in the main class. Okay. Now we go here to the method credit inquiry. For the credit inquiry in main class, it will print the number of the account number, account name, credit limit, credit balance will be shown to the user after validation of the account. The next method is the purchase with parameter double purchase amount. This method will compute the interest and the credit balance of the account. Credit balance plus the purchase amount, and the total will be equal to the credit balance to the interest is 3% of the credit balance. Credit balance plus interest, then assigning the value of the credit balance, then allowable purchase amount is equal to credit limit minus credit balance after the computation. The next method is the payment. After the validation of account, it will go to this payment method with parameter payment amount. If the payment amount is less than 1, it would print payment should be less than 1. And if the payment is above the credit balance, it would print payment should be less than your credit balance. Credit balance minus payment and the assigning of the value of the credit balance. After that, the system will print the updated account details. This is the method for the account validation with the parameter of the instance of the object array, int num user, int account number. This is a linear search that finds the account number and is used for validation in if the account is valid or not, and if the account is already been closed. This method is for closing the account, in which the parameter is the instance of the object array, int num user, and int account number. If the account number has been found and validated, it is a closed Boolean variable will return true, and if the account will be closed, the system will print this account has been closed. That's my presentation. Thank you very much.